Hey Google, turn on the light. Are you asking something? Oh, you're just saying mum. Hello. Happy 30th of December. It's a non-day. It's not Christmas, it's not New Year, it's just like a day that does not exist, where the time-space continuum has gone completely strange and time does not exist in this time of year, right? Who's with me? It feels like I haven't vlogged in forever, which I think is probably true. So I took a little break, and I would love to say that it was intentional. It was kind of semi-intentional, but you know how like when you anticipate having a holiday and then you think you're going to be really productive and then you're just not. And it would be nice if you kind of planned to not be productive because you're like gonna do some super intense, amazing, relaxing. That didn't happen either. So I was kind of just feeling badly for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I think I'm kind of coming out of it now. And so I didn't do any art, didn't do much of anything, didn't have any motivation to do anything. But then yesterday and today I have just, I don't know, it's almost as if like all of the art inspiration got bottled up and now it's all exploding out. So I did loads of art there. I was working on lots of different things at the same time, just, you know, like doing something, letting it, then putting it to the side to let it dry, and then the next thing. This was I'm working over an old piece from like 2014. I did this, so I'm going to be photographing all of these so I can pop them onto Instagram, and this kind of weird skeleton dog like thing. Kind of coming out of the holidays, my inspiration and motivation is slowly returning. It's not quite back yet, I would say. Kind of comes and goes. Trying to be kind of nice to myself, which I'm very, very bad at. I've got this deadline coming up, and I am going to basically ask for a little extension because that's just part of me kind of recognizing my own limits. And the kids go back to school on Monday, and back, you know, then the routine is gonna come back, and I think that I just do much better with a very strict routine, which is a bit of a shame really, because when I'm in that routine I'm really busy. I'm always kind of longing for a holiday in which I don't have to do anything, but then when the holiday is here, kind of like I kind of just slump and become a non-person. So I kind of look forward to returning to personhood and doing vlogging and making videos. I have lots of ideas. There's the kind of the ideas and the motivation that need to kind of converge to mean that I actually do things, and that hasn't really been happening. So, but I'm here now talking, and that feels good. I just remembered something, which is that I have picked my word of the year. I've picked my word of the year 2021. But let me first share with you my word of the year that I had for 2020, which was no. Which turned out to be very appropriate because, as we all know, 2020 turned out to be a very big pile of no. So, anyway, my word of the year 2021, it was a funny story. I was talking to Tam from Willowing, who said, "Oh, are you going to use the same word again?" And then Andrew said, "Oh, you could have a different type of no, as in K-N-O-W." I was like, wow, that was just so clever. But I didn't feel like that was the right word for me, even though I was very, very impressed with his kind of like intelligence and quickness. But I decided, have I actually said the word yet? No, I haven't. Okay, sorry, this is a very long ramble to get to my word. So the word that I've chosen is the word feel. because I feel like that is something that I want to focus on. I don't want to focus on things that are already part of my kind of everyday life. I feel like the word know or knowledge, that is something that I'm so into and busy with anyway. I don't need that reminder. My word of the year tends to be a reminder to myself of keeping something kind of close in my consciousness. The word feel, that's a reminder that I want to give to myself on a daily basis. So therefore my word of the year 2021 is going to be feel. We'll see how that works out. And I guess I kind of plan to make a piece of art with it, because that's what I tend to do ever since I started doing a word of the year every year. I don't think I did a no art piece last year, did I? I don't know. But it is a word that tends to come up in my art, so it's definitely something that was in there. And then now it's going to be feel. And yeah, I'd love to know, is this like the first that you're hearing about a word of the year, or is that something that you do? And if you have picked a word of the year, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know, and hopefully we can kind of all inspire each other with our choices for our words. Welcome to Cooking with Iris. I'm going to attempt to make some croissants because we have this and it needs to be used up because it's used by date. So and because I'm Dutch, I read this as jus roll, but Andrew informed me that it's quite logically called just roll. So surprised that this actually looks like a croissant, kind of. Set a timer for 15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes.
How are you feeling, babe?
Grumpy.
It's because you're hungry.
Stop!
It's because you're hungry.
Stop!
They look good.
Stop!
They look good.
Yeah, they do look good, don't they?
They look lovely.
For the benefit of doubt, I wasn't telling my husband to stop talking, I was just telling the Google to stop doing the alarm. They do look actually like actual croissants. Obviously there was like the tiny one and then like the massive one. Alright, let's eat them because I'm so grumpy.
Okay.
Go away.
My husband.
No, I don't want.
My husband got me these because he knows how much I like them, and he went out to Waitrose specially this morning just to get these for me. I don't know how I can express my gratitude.
I was so hangry earlier. I think eating on time is also part of self-care, but then I was actually really into what I was doing before, and then, you know, like just time. So we had lunch and we played some games. I just got zombie dice the other day, and it's like a game that I've wanted forever, and I finally just thought like, okay, I'm just gonna get it. And it's just so simple and fun. You're a zombie and you want brains, and it's just really fun dice rolling game. Anyway, and now I've got a little bit of time that I want to just spend just doing a bit more art. I really want to, in the first instance, kind of get back into doing art for myself, because I feel like that's kind of where it comes from. That's the, you know, the genesis of anything I do has to start with, I mean, that is the genesis. It has to be art for myself. So that's what I want to do. And then I've got a little bit of a busy rest of the day because I want to cook, and I want to cook Indonesian food, which is, it always just takes a little bit longer than throwing together any other meal. I think I'm gonna have to get the deep fryer going. And then after that I have a bonus D&D session. We usually play on the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. This is the fifth Wednesday of the month, so we wouldn't have had a D&D session, but because it's the holidays and our DM said, oh, do you want to all play in this bonus fifth Wednesday, and we were all like, yes please. That's going to happen tonight, which is exciting because I have recently obviously introduced my character Raven, and I am really just itching to like continue with her. I just remembered something. This is how I like start every segment, isn't it? The stuff I got for Christmas, because it's exciting. So there, I got 2 things from Andrew. I got a sewing machine, very exciting, and I got Catan. Oh, and I got some gin, very important. And then my aunt gave me some art supplies. I told her some of the stuff that I wanted, but I didn't like pin down saying like this, and this. It was like kind of like one of these things and these are the colors that I would be interested in, that kind of thing. So she got me this brush, which is it's just like a small detail brush, and I actually had one of these before, but I accidentally ruined it. Like I ruin a lot of brushes on purpose, but the brush that I had, that was this one, I did try to take care of, but for some reason I think some like dried up paint got into the ferrule, however you pronounce that, and it just kind of got all splayed out. So I've got a new one, and I'm trying really my bestest to take care of this one. And then I also got this acrylic gouache, which I've already got. I got a few colors myself a few months ago, and I quite enjoyed them. So I asked for the cadmium-free Red Deep. I was comparing it to my cadmium plus Red Deep from Ara, and I do think I prefer that one. This one's a little bit more pinky, but still it's nice. It's really nice to have this in like a matte acrylic gouache, because I do love using that kind of deep red. And then the final thing I got, which I'm quite excited about, is this little watercolor stick in Payne's Grey. And it was using that on this page that made me think like, I haven't talked about my new art supplies yet. So it's just this, it's like, I guess, compressed watercolor stuff, and you put it on. So it's kind of like a water-soluble crayon, but I do find that water-soluble crayons, I'm totally talking about art supplies now. I was like doing a montage of my art journaling, but no, we're talking about art supplies now. I find that like these types of crayons, like water-soluble crayons, when you put them on, they tend to be really waxy, and unless you really activate them, they can just kind of end up getting in the way. I mean, I do love using them, but they kind of have an instruction manual, and this is basically just watercolor in a stick, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I do think, obviously I didn't buy this, I don't know how much they cost, but I do think that they're quite expensive actually, but I do see this lasting for a long time. So this is the Payne's Grey, which is that nice kind of like deep, nearly black, but kind of bluish, greyish, dark, nice. So yes, that was my excitement over my my new art supplies, because that's always exciting, right? Honestly, one of the hardest things I find is transitions. I kind of sound like a toddler when I say that, but I actually think that toddlers have it right. Transitions are so difficult, and it's like when I'm really into painting, it's so hard to tear myself away, but then when I'm not painting, it can sometimes, not always, sometimes be so hard to get myself back to my art desk. And it's like right now I got other stuff to do, but I have to tear myself away from painting, because right now I could just paint for hours probably until my stomach or my bladder tell me to go and do something else. That's, you know, that's life. But then on the other hand, there is the lure of a glass of wine when I go downstairs. Haha. Okay, I know you didn't ask, but let me give you my best tip for cooking rice on an electric hob. And hob is a different word in American English and I have no idea what it is. You can leave it in the comments below. Electric cooker, maybe? You put the rice on to one of the rings on the highest temperature for 5 minutes, which is just about the time that it takes to come to the boil. And then you, instead of afterwards turning it down, you preheat another electric ring to 1, which I'm going to do now. And then once the rice has come to the boil, you put it on the other one that is now on 1 and that is really low. Because as you know, with electric hobs, when you turn it down, it takes quite a few minutes before it's actually to the correct temperature. So this way you can do like perfectly simmered rice on an electric hob. So you're welcome. This is why I don't have a cooking channel. Do you want to hear the funny story about the cauliflower? This cauliflower, we order from Tesco's online to get our shopping delivered. And the cauliflower was 29p, which is very cheap. So we assumed that the cauliflower was going to be tiny. So we ordered 2. And then they came and they were like this size each.
Not allowed to do more than 4 at a time.
No, you're not allowed to do more than 4 at a time because I'm very like controlling and stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh look, wow.
They kind of explode, don't they?
Yeah, oh wow. Do you want to do a taste test? That one's a bit burnt actually. When I wasn't filming you say it smells good and then when I'm filming you say not bad. Dad's following me around filming. Wow, this smells authentic.
Dinner! Do you want to film anything?
I bet you're filming right now.
Dinner, 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 dinner.
And the rolls for people who don't think that this dinner is going to be any
Well, that was my contribution to the meal.
We're gonna watch a Christmas movie. It's like the last day that you can legitimately watch a Christmas movie. So I'm gonna close out the vlog. Zeph, do you want?
Talking to the camera, didn't
Yeah. Do you want to...
you? Talking to me. I was thinking, tell me what I already know.
That is so funny. Zeph, do you want to close out the vlog? Put your hand up and you move it towards the camera, like until it's like over the lens. Okay? Yeah? You're gonna do it.